First Chinese came to San Francisco in 1848. Mostly they were lonely men in a strange land. It was natural that a flourishing business of smuggling in Chinese girls should develop. The men engaged in the smuggling were brutal, unscrupulous, the scum of the underworld. They found it easy to kill victims who fought against bondage in the New World.
Oh, poor things. Poor little creatures. This has got to be stopped, Dion. From now on, consider it your full-time assignment. I want to find out who's behind this, who works for him, everything. Do you understand?
And I want to see him and his gang swinging at the end of a rope.
California, California,
The Californians.
California, I've come to live where life is best. In the Golden West, I'm gonna strike it rich in California.
It's easy to say do this or do that. It's another thing when you face barriers of race, language, and customs. I needed help. I went to the one man in Chinatown who could help me, the deacon.
A is for apple, it grows on a tree.
B is for baby, C is for cat, D is for dog, E is for...
Dion Patrick. Well, it's time you were coming to see us down here. You're going to do a story about us in your paper? I thank the Lord for that. If more people understood the kind of work we're trying to do down here, they might unloosen their purse strings. It's blessed to give, you know, and there's a singular lot of unblessed tightwads in this town. Perhaps a story or two will awaken them.
Look, Deacon, I didn't come here to do a story about your school.
Oh?
I'm on another story. Sing-song girls.
I see. I see. Aksong, Van Hoygula. Why did you come to see me?
You're the one man I know who understands Chinatown and the Chinese.
You're dabbling in dangerous business, you know that.
Yes, I know that.
The Chinese have kept slaves during 6,000 years of civilization. You intend to overthrow that custom?
Now, Deacon, you're not defending slavery, are you?
Well, certainly not. But I'm an old China hand, and I've learned to overlook a great many things that are personally abhorrent. Besides, most of these girls end up as respectable wives of the very men who bought them.
But they were forced. They had no freedom of choice.
Are the vigilantes interested in this?
We're interested in the brutality and murders that go along with it.
Dear me, I foresee a great deal of trouble. Trouble for everyone, but I clearly see where my duty lies, and I'm a stickler for duty, Dion. A stickler. Take that to Kwong Lee. Runs a gambling den down the street. There's a red dragon painted over the door.
What will he do?
Show it to him. He'll help you to meet some people who may give you information. Well, good luck, my boy. I think you're stirring up a hornet's nest, but I suppose it has to be done.
That's right. It does.
Dear me, yes.
Kwong Lee?
And you are the young men who will help end one of our worst evils. Welcome to my house.
Thank you.
Come, we will talk. My people are new to this country, Mr. Patrick. Strange, frightened. And people who are strange and frightened cling to the traditions of their homeland. They keep their secrets. You will find it hard to talk to them. And it will be much harder to get them to admit such a trade exists.
But it does exist. Do you have any slaves?
No, Mr. Patrick. My education in a Christian mission school forbids such a practice. But if I had, I would tell you there were singing birds in my household. I would invite you to meet them, ask questions, and none would admit to being my chattel.
And where do I start?
By winning the confidence of my people, becoming friends. Friends will speak to each other from the heart, Mr. Patrick, and the heart tells nothing but truth.
Will you help me?
The deacon has asked me to help you.
But will you be my friend?
Friendship is a delicate seed, Mr. Patrick. It requires time to grow, bud, and burst into blossom. Chang will show you out.
Shall I come back?
As often as you please. Tell the deacon he has no reason for worry. Mr. Patrick will be led down many paths, but never the right one.
I roamed the streets of Chinatown for 3 months. People I talked to were friendly, until we spoke of sing-song girls. Then the curtain of secrecy was drawn. Under Kwong Lee's tutelage, I learned some of the rules of courtesy. The ceremonial drinking of tea. And the Chinese were inveterate gamblers, gamesters who would risk anything on the turn of a card or a mahjong tile.
He says the game is without limit.
You can tell him that's fine with me.
Go hold it.
It was one of those nights that poker players dream about. One of those nights when every card in your hand stood up. The merchant Sia lost heavily. What's the matter?
Oh, he wants to make a bigger bet.
Well, anything he wants.
所有你台面啲銀咧，冚唪唥賭晒佢。
隨便啦，先生。He says he will bet against everything in front of you.
Well, where's his money?
He isn't betting money.
What is this?
That is Sia's wager. A pearl beyond price.
睇我妹仔幾靚，佢名叫美松，佢應該值一揸波。
He says she is young, a gentle maiden and a good worker. Her name is Mei Song, and she is worth the wager.
Well, tell him I can't accept.
佢唔能夠賭啦。
如果唔得嘅，取消佢。
Now what's the matter?
He says if she is not worth your wager, she is not worth keeping. He told his servant to dispose of her.
Tell Sia I've changed my mind. I'll accept the bet.
佢應承。
幾多張牌啊？
How many cards do you want?
我唔要。
Tell him he's called.
佢到啦。Hot flush.
Tell him he's won.
Wait. Full house. 佢贏啦。
你唔屬於我，帶佢去。
What am I going to do with her?
Take her with you. She is your property.
Look, call off the bet. Keep the girl and keep the money, too.
跟佢去，快啲跟佢嘅。
What are you doing? What's my...
Jack! Martha, come here, quick!
I knew it. I knew it.
Now, you get out of here. Go on.
What the devil's the matter with you?
She's trying to dress me.
Out of here, you brazen creature. Chop, chop.
Martha!
我不够跟她穿衣服。Poor child, you frightened her half to death. Come along, May. Men. Brutes.
It's your own fault, you know. Why the devil did you have to win her in the first place, huh?
Well, I tried to lose.
Well, you should have given her back to see you.
I wouldn't take her. You know, in a way, it might not be such a bad thing.
What?
Maybe she can tell us who brought her into the country. Who the men are that are running this dirty business.
Oh, that's fine. She doesn't even speak English, you know.
She can learn.
You should never have let this happen. That girl should not have gotten out of Chinatown.
I have no power over the merchant seer.
Why didn't you let me know Flick would have stopped her?
How?
Never mind that, he'd have stopped her. That foolish Patrick, too, if it became necessary.
I do not want to see the girl hurt.
What's going on in that head of yours, Lee? Talk to me when I ask you a question.
Please. I do not like to be touched and handled.
There, my boy, I lost my temper. You have a fondness for this girl?
Her face is good for my eyes. When I first saw her, my heart was stricken. I want her for my wife.
Then you see, we have to get her back for your sake as well as our own. Haven't we? Flick.
No, not Flick. I will get her back.
Of course you will. And I'm sure you'll be very happy, too. But just remember one thing. In order to save all our necks, we have to get her out of Dion Patrick's hands before she learns to speak English and tell secrets.
No. Chair.
Dion, you're going at it all wrong. She'll be an old lady before she learns the word this way. Let's try the McGuffey. Come along, May. Now, A is for apple, B is for bird. Understand?
No, you're not getting through to her, Martha. Now listen. A is for apple, B is for bird, C is for cat, D is for dog. What got into her?
She seemed almost frightened.
I wonder what it could be.
Kwang Lee is in the store waiting to see you.
Oh, good. Thanks. Lee. Greetings, elder brother.
I have come about the woman, Mei Sung. I have looked on her face and she pleases me. I want to buy her from you.
Are you serious?
I will pay twice the amount you wagered against her.
Oh, it's not a question of money. We just don't sell women in this country.
You must do this for me. You must. I want her for my wife.
Well, if you feel that way about her, Lee, why don't you talk to her and try to win her? But you can't buy her.
There isn't enough time. Please, elder brother, for her sake, give her to me.
What do you mean, for her sake? Isn't it time you talked to me frankly, Lee?
I cannot tell you about these things.
You must. You came to me as a friend, asking a favor. Well, act like a friend. Talk.
I will leave you now. What will happen, will happen. How foolish for a man to set himself against the will of fortune. Be watchful while you walk, elder brother. The familiar path is filled with traps, and all faces are not what they seem.
Come on, tell me, what did he want?
He wanted to buy Mei Sung.
What?
He wants to marry her.
Jack! Dion! Mei Sung, I went to her room. She's gone.
Any trouble? Wait till after dark and whatever the usual way. I'll go back to my class.
There were signs of a struggle, all right. Mei Sung's been kidnapped.
But how?
When we were in the store, they must have taken her out the back.
Wait a minute. Kwang Li decoyed us.
That's right, Jack. It's time we asked ourselves some questions. Why did the deacon send me to Kwang Li? And why was Mei Sung so afraid when she heard you and I reciting the alphabet?
I wish I knew.
It must be associated somehow in her mind with terror.
All right. Where do we find the answers, then?
Right back where this chase began. The deacon's school.
I've told you everything. Why do you badger me with questions?
Because you haven't given any answers. Why did you send me to Kwang Li?
I told you. He's the man best suited to guide you into Chinatown's underworld.
He hasn't shown me a thing.
But maybe you're a fault.
Or maybe somebody told him to lead me down false trails.
Are you accusing me, Mr. Patrick?
I'm asking questions. Let's have some answers.
If you think I'm an accomplice in this business, why don't you file charges? Or don't you have any evidence to warrant such charges?
If you're innocent, prove it. Without the legal hanky-panky.
How?
Let me search the premises.
This place, humble as it is my home and my castle. And if you wish to rummage through it, you'll have to secure a warrant.
I might do just that.
Back to our lessons, children. Remember, knowledge is power.
A is for apple, grows on a tree. B is for baby.
He's really got us over a barrel. If we take out a warrant, the girl will be dead before we can serve it. I'll swear he's got her in that house someplace.
Yes, well, swearing isn't enough. We need some evidence, you know.
We'll get it. Say, if a man is wanted, you can pursue him into any premises, can't you?
Sure.
Well, that's it. I'll go down to Kwang Li's and arrest him for abduction.
Oh, I see. All right, well, I best get some vigilantes and follow you, huh?
That's right. He might escape. You're lying. You lied to me from the beginning. You were in this up to your neck. You decoyed us away while the girl was being abducted.
Elder brother.
Don't call me elder brother. You're part of the dirty slave trade that I'm gonna smash.
I tell you, I cannot hurt Mei Sung. I saw her just once, the night you won her. She filled my heart so no other woman can take her place.
Then tell me where she is.
I do not know. But I promise she will not be harmed.
Then you do know where she is. All right. Have it your own way. But I'm taking you in for a vigilante trial. He'll kill that girl. And you know it, but you won't admit it. And you won't be able to help her, Lee. Not where you're going.
You said you would not harm her. You promised. Where is she?
It's only a woman, Lee.
She is going to be my woman.
My dear boy, there are lots of others.
Where is she?
Put that gun away.
Take me to her, Deacon. And if you've hurt her, I'll kill you.
Very well. Come with me. That's two for the bay tonight. Get them ready. It's a shame it had to end like this, Lee. I made you a rich man. Could have made you richer. But there are lots of other people who would like to become rich quickly.
What are you going to do?
Going to destroy you as evidence. You and your beloved will rest peacefully at the bottom of the bay. Patrick and McGivern and the rest of his nosy committee will think the two of you ran away together. Everything ready? All right, quickly and quietly.
Could I, please?
All right, hand them over to the authorities.
We put in a good word for Lee?
Well, I think the truth is good enough.
What happened?
Deacon and Flick were found guilty, condemned.
And Kwong Lee?
He was cleared of complicity in the murders. They let him go with a light sentence.
Well, May soon. What about...
Well, she's going to stay with us until Lee finishes his sentence. Then they're going to get married.
That's very funny.
Why? People do get married, you know.
I know, but it's funny because Lee will now be a slave himself to her for the rest of his life.
And I don't think he'll mind at all.
California. Oh, I've traveled here, I've traveled there. I guess I've been most everywhere. But I like where I am today, and here is where I'll stay. Now, one thing I just can't endure is being broke and being poor. So I come west to take the cure, and here is where I'll stay. I've come to California, California. There's gold in them there hills in California. I've come to live where life is best, in the golden west. I'm gonna strike it rich in California.